Good afternoon, everyone. It is Monday, January 20th, 2014. This is Meteorologist Eric Drewitz here with the New York State Regional Forecast Center, and I'm bringing you your latest, up-to-datest forecast, as I like to say. So, looking around the Northeast, current conditions right now, big temperature differences. You'll see in the southern, more coastal regions, temperatures in the 30s, mid to upper 30s, low 40s, even 51 down here in Philadelphia. And then you'll see up here in northern New York, 20s in the interior portions, teens and single digits. So by looking at the winds, according to the surface observations, I would estimate the cold front, the Arctic front, to be somewhere around central New York area. So pretty much right around here, it looks like, because you'll see here more of a. Here's the winds look a bit variable down here around Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, but then over here you see a lot warmer temperatures to your south and east. So the cold air, sorry, the cold air is going to be moving southward, advancing on the coastal regions. So these temperatures are going to be gone, much colder. And if you look up in Canada, currently you got minus teens and even some minus 20s in spots. So very cold Arctic air moving into our region. And if you look at another surface map, it looks like the cold front is about here. So the cold front looks like it's pretty much over central New York for the most part at the moment, advancing south. As you see, the winds down back at home in the Long Island, New York City area, out of the southwest, warmer temperatures in the 30s and 40s, and then down here in Virginia, in the Washington, D.C. area, even in the 50s. But then if you look up here, it's a lot colder in the interior northeastern United States, more so teens, 20s, and single digits. So I guess we'll start off like we normally do. And we'll go through, the current trough and ridge patterns across the continental United States. This is the 1,000 to 500 millibar thickness, as you guys all know from my previous videos. And looks like at the moment, this was 12Z NAM, so this is 12Z this morning or 7 a.m. this morning. You see that the 540 line, or the rain snow line, is pretty much actually just off the south shore of the island. It looks like there's a pretty good temperature gradient between the island and the James Bay area, because this is 54. The 540 lines down here, and then the 486 lines up here. So that means also there's a good temperature gradient, which, as you see in the current surface observations, there is, because down here on the island, I'm seeing temperatures, around 41, 43 degrees. But then up here, you see like minus 14, minus 17, minus 18 over here. So it's very, very cold. And in the scheme of things, it's not a very long distance. So going back to the trough and ridge patterns to give you guys an idea. So the trough right now looks like it's weak because the Arctic front is still up to the north. As I said, right now it looks like it's over central New York. But as we fast forward in time, you see a lot of good deepening to the west. Positively tilted trough. This is going to swing around this way and continue to deepen. So this is now 12Z Wednesday. Actually, let's step back in time a little bit. Let's go to 12Z Tuesday, tomorrow. Looks like, Oswego's in between the 510 and 504 line, and Long Island's in between the 522 and 528 line. So as I fast forward a bit, You'll see the trough deepens and it centers more over the eastern United States. 504 is pretty much right on Oswego. It looks like, the 522 is pretty much centered over the middle of Long Island by 6Z Wednesday, and then this is 12Z Wednesday, and you'll see the 504 still south of Oswego, and actually the 516 is on the very eastern end of Long Island, so trough deepens a little bit. And this is now 0Z Thursday. Looks like a similar sort of scenario. 510 goes right through Long Island. And now you see the trough deepening even more because now the 498 line is south of Oswego, and the 504 line is just to the north and west of New York City in like the lower Hudson Valley. And the trough really deepens by, this is 0Z Friday. And 498 line is actually south of Binghamton, and the 504 line is literally just to the north of the city. So let's take a look at the GFS. This is the 12Z GFS. Again, it looks like good temperature gradients because of the good height gradients between the island and the James Bay area. As I fast forward through time, you'll see by 6Z Wednesday, the trough deepened across the northeastern United States. The 504 line's pretty much over Oswego, and it looks like the 522 line's over the center of Long Island. Now, when I fast forward through more, another thing to pay attention to, by the way, for all you folks on Long Island, about the coastal storm. I'll run through that quick while we're on the topic of the thickness. So you see the 540 line down here, this nice dark blue line. Well, that's usually thought this time of year. That's usually used as the rain-snow boundary, the rain-snow line. So pretty much anywheres to the north and west of it is going to be snow, and anywheres to the south and east of it is going to be rain. And that's because on the southeast side you have more of these you have warmer temperatures, as you see, 546. You have 546, 552, 558, but you also have more of that southerly, southwesterly flow, bringing in like the warm sector. So on the this is 18Z Tuesday. You see, you got this center of low pressure right here. This precipitation, it's going to be moving to the northeast from the southwest, just as all cyclones do in the mid-latitude northern hemisphere. And now this is 6Z Wednesday. It looks like Long Island's getting some pretty heavy snow. 5,400. The 540 line's right is pretty far off the coast. And it looks like the 522 line is right over the center of the island, and it looks like you're in a pretty good spot for precipitation down there. So as storm pulls out, trough deepens more to the west again, positively tilted trough, because again, to reiterate, it has, if you take a line, drive it and run it through the vertex of the trough, if it has a positive slope, well, that's a positively tilted trough. So we'll fast forward in time again, and yeah, it looks like you could have some more precipitation developing in the areas of West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio. That'll maybe move east, and the NAM doesn't go out that far, but we'll see what the GFS and the European has about this system right here. So too. So as you see, there's a big trough in the east with this meridional pattern that we're in right now. So this is the 12Z run of the GFS today. So as I go forward in time, this is now 12Z Wednesday. Well, according to GFS, this storm right here that's going to affect the Long Island area. Again, it's moving towards the island and the city. As I fast forward in time, this is now 6Z Wednesday or 1 a.m. You see the 540 line is right off, is far off the coast. So this area is going to be all snow, which is good for the people who are looking for a snow day. And this is now 12Z. It's snowing pretty decent across the island and the city. 540 line's even farther off the coast. You're getting that northeasterly flow. If you get the isobars, and you're going to get backing, since you're west of the storm track on the west side, you're going to get more snow because you're going to get backing winds with height because you're going to have this cold air advection coming into the area. So that's going to keep the temperatures down. So don't expect any rain out of this one, guys, really. And then as I fast forward in time, you'll see the trough again continuing to deepen to the west, positively tilted. So it's going to keep this whole eastern region very cold. And then as I keep going through time, you'll see the trough really deepen, even Long Island's north of the 498 line, and this is at 12Z Friday. And as you see, the trough kind of shallows out a little bit because the 522 line's right over Oswego, but to our west, right over here, you'll see the trough deepening again, which it does to the east, and then moves east, and now we're still in this trough pattern for a while. It looks like, far out, GFS thinks that it's going to get warmer. I know lately I've been looking at both the GFS and the Euro for far out, and they have not been in agreement. The Euro says it's still going to be cold, and the GFS says it's going to get warmer. If I had to choose a model, which one to go with, I would always pick the Euro because. Not that the Euro is like the old telltale model. I mean, there's no really old telltale model, but out of all of them, the Euro is statistically more accurate than the GFS. So this is the 0Z run last night of the European. So as you see, trough deepening in the west, moves east. Now it's over. This is now 18Z Wednesday. The 498 line's pretty much over Oswego. Long Island's pretty much right just north of the 510 line, so it's cold everywhere, low heights. Oh, and as I go back, you'll see the trough is really deepening to the west. Really positively tilted trough. So that'll swing around eastbound, keeping the temperatures cold. Again, the 498 line is south of Oswego. This is now 6Z Friday. The 498 line is not even close to Oswego. It's so far south. So as you see, the trough weakened a bit. This is 0Z Saturday, but it's again to our west. It is continuing to strengthen, and it'll move back into our area and then continue to deepen, keeping the temperatures down. Now, this is what's going on right now, actually, is you have this like an omega high pressure system to our west, which means it's causing a major ridge in the western United States, which creates a major trough in the eastern United States. I'll bring up the, let's see, 12Z. See if where the height anomalies. So I'm just trying to find. There's a lot of stuff on this page. I'm trying to find where the 500 millibar height anomalies are. Oh, here we go. Let's see what these ensembles say. So these are ensembles I'm looking at right now. Initialized at 12Z today. I believe these are GFS ensembles, if I'm right. Yes, they are. And these are this is showing the height, the 500 millibar heights, and it looks like, like I was saying, to get more of a picture of the circulation of things, it looks like you're getting that omega high over the Pacific, which is causing this really deep trough in the east. So it's called an omega high because the omega symbol. I mean, the trough kind of looks like an upside down omega symbol actually, because but in the west, you kind of have that omega like ridge. But it's well more defined though in the east, because you have that. I like to call it personally. I like to call it a U-lock kind of trough, and what that means is when you get a lot of some Greenland blocking. A lot of times, I remember years ago, 2010, 2011, when I was in 10th grade and 11th grade. There was a lot of East Coast big blockbuster East Coast snowstorms because we were in that U-lock or that omega trough, and pretty much what happened was you had this Greenland blocking, which kept this U-lock going for a while. This nice U-lock, and as you see, the ensembles have the trough staying in the east with a nice with that nice U-lock. So I'll run it for you again, but pretty much the ensembles all agree, for the most part, having the trough stay in the east for an extended period of time, but then way out possibly weakening, because that's what the GFS was hinting at, but it looks like we're in a good pattern. So now to give you guys go back a bit, give you guys the 2 meter temps on the continental scale of the continental United States. It looks like we got all this cold air up in Canada, which will advance on us. I'm gonna make this quick, and temperatures stay cold. As again said, trough. Interior northeastern United States, -5, -10, single digits, teens and 20s along the coasts. Then the cold air really advances, and then this is now 12Z Friday, and it looks like the cold air is more centered over the Great Lakes in the northeastern United States. And as I look forward, the cold air still stays dominant in the east, just like how I said with the omega pattern right now. You got that, and you got that Greenland blocking. So as I said, that nice U-lock trough in the east, that nice U-shaped trough is going to be staying in our region. And this is the ECMWF 0Z. You'll see the cold air is really dominating the eastern United States. A lot of in the interior northeast, a lot of minuses, -10s, -20s, single digits and teens down to the coasts. But as you see, the European still has it staying cold when the GFS had it get warmer. Now let's go to the let's look at the temperatures, but I'm gonna go through this more slowly because this is this is in the Northeast. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what it looked like for the continental United States. So this is at the 0Z NAM again. I mean the 12Z NAM. My bad. The 12Z NAM, 7 a.m. And as you see, this is 0Z Tuesday. So 7 p.m. tonight, and it looks like a lot of upstate New York, interior northeastern United States, in teens, single digits, and then a lot of still upper 30s along the islands. But the freezing line is pretty much just north and west of the city. It looks like around the I-287 area, and then a lot of in the 20s, in the lower Hudson Valley, rapidly changing to teens when you go farther north. And then when I animate this more, you'll see that cold air really, really coming into the region. This is 12Z Tuesday, so 7 a.m. Tuesday. In the very interior northeast, you got minuses, and then you get a lot of single digits in the coast of Maine, and in the interior northeastern United States. Lower Hudson Valley, a lot of teens, up by Boston too, and then very high teens to low 20s across the island and the city. So as we look forward, this is 18Z Tuesday, so this is what around the time of the high temperatures on Tuesday, and as you see, it's very cold. A lot of single digits in the interior portions of the northeast United States, to some minuses isolated in some spots. A lot of teens across the region, Boston, New York City, and then very eastern end of Long Island, 20s down to Jersey Shore, Cape May. And so fast forward more, this is now 6Z Wednesday again. A lot of single digits across the interior northeast, some minuses isolated. Teens pretty much for the whole island and the city, except for maybe the very east end. They might have around 20. They might be in the low 20s. Boston, in the teens. And as I look forward more, you'll see the cold air persists. Teens, single digits for the majority of the northeastern United States. And pretty much now this is at 12Z today. And as I look forward, it looks like now the cold air is pretty much is coming into the region. You got some single digits, minuses across the interior portions, teens and 20s along the coasts. As I look ahead, same kind of deal. Although now this is 12Z Wednesday, it's looking really cold. A lot of minuses actually across central New York and the interior portions. Looks like western New York, a lot of temperatures around zero. Again, Capital District, Hudson Valley, a lot of temperatures around zero. And then the coast, like Long Island and New York City, very low teens to upper single digits. The Pine Barrens, I would say for the Pine Barrens, they probably would be more so single digits than teens at this time, and I would think the Pine Barrens would be a little bit colder just because of radiational cooling, if it occurs, just in case. And then again, this is 18Z Wednesday. As you see, most of central western New York, interior northeast United States, temperatures around zero, single digits, minuses, and then just some really low teens along the coasts, and temperature around 10 looks like in Boston. And as I go out, temperature really decreases. The cold air really pushes towards the coast, because as you see now around the coast here, some upper single digits to low teens. Most of the interior portions, single digits and minuses. Again, I'm repeating myself. Same thing, kind of deal, going over the looking out a bit. Looks like it's going to stay cold. Cold will persist, although now it says like this is now 12Z Tuesday, January 28th, 216 hours out. It's having the cold air retreat, but it comes back in, and by 336 hours out, it's actually looking like the state divided in half. You got your warmer air, here, and then your colder air here. But it looks like, the model didn't really finish running, but it looks like the cold air really dominates. And again, take it with a grain of salt because it's a long-range forecast. Now this is the European. I'm going to go through this quick. Cold air really dominates, but this is now 12Z Wednesday, and it's kind of cool how, literally kind of cool, but this is the only model that has temperatures going really, really low, down into the minus, lower minus teens and the minus 20s across the interior portions, single digits and low teens down by the shores, minuses and single digits pretty much everywhere else across the interior northeast. And as you see, the cold air really dominates the region according to the Euro. It sticks around. It gets really cold. Minus 25 to minus even 30 some spots. But so that's that. And basically that's just to give you an idea. So I guess we'll look at this is the 10-meter winds streamline. This is the we'll look at the 12Z NAM starting off. So it looks like you see where your frontal boundary is, which is what this big long line is, because over here you get that more north to northwesterly flow. Here you get that more southwesterly flow across the region. So it's looking like the front this was at 12Z, so at 7 a.m. it looked like it was just south of Oswego according to the NAM. And as you see, this is not now 18Z or at 1 p.m. today, so in a few minutes. Looks like the front's more so around the Sullivan Delaware County border, right down here. Because here you got that more northwesterly flow, and again here you have more of that southwesterly flow. So then it looks like you get that persistent. This is now 12Z Tuesday, persistent northerly to northwesterly winds across the northeastern United States. And it looks like the northerly winds are going to be dominating. And then now this is the 12Z GFS, same kind of deal. Frontal system is like going right through central New York. And as you see, the as the Arctic front moves south, you get more of that north to northwesterly flow behind it, which in turn would bring the temperatures down, just like I showed you, because you got more than northerly winds. Cold air advection, which I'll get to in a bit. And then I'll show you the 0Z European model. Pretty much by 0Z tonight, everywhere is going to get that. The Arctic front will be passed, and everywhere is going to get that north to northwesterly flow in the northeastern United States, and the northerly flow persists through the area. So things are looking good for cold temperatures. So now this is the let's look at the 12Z NAM. This is the 1,000 to 850 millibar relative humidity, which is important for any kinds of precipitation. Now, on the as you see on the southern to eastern end shores of Lake Ontario, you got the relative humidity to be in the 90 to 100% range. Down on the island, it's still kind of dry. It's still pretty dry, 40 to 70%, which I mean is dry to average, pretty much average. But as you see, the central New York area dries out a little bit, but it still stays, fairly humid. But when this is when the synoptic system moves by the island, you'll see now it's going to be in the around 80-90% relative humidity. Most of the place between 90 and 100, although further west you go, humidity will decrease. As you see, it stays pretty humid up towards the Great Lakes, up towards Lake Ontario, which is good for lake effect snow. And now this is the 12Z GFS, and it's still looking very humid across the region. Humidity really builds in on the southeastern shores of Lake Ontario. So now this is this is Saturday at 12Z, and as you see, the dry air is really building into the region for the island and the city. But the moist air is still, toward north. But the way that the winds are, obviously the moist air is going to override the dry air because you have that more north to northwest flow. So, the wind will be blowing from the moist air. Anyway, so again, this is now looking at the wind shear. I mean, the winds generally same thing, north, northwesterly. I'm not going to really spend much time on that because it's same thing as I've been saying. Let's actually bring up the current radar just to see what's going on. Montague, unfortunately, the Montague radar is down. Unfortunately, so I'll try to do my best with the Binghamton and the Albany radar, although I'm not making any promises. I'm not sure why the Montague radar is down, but it actually looks like there's some pretty good snowfall across a lot of central New York. It looks like a lot of areas around northeast of Binghamton, so around Sherburne, Norwich, Oneonta, Hamilton. It's looking like the base reflectivity over here is about, looks like around 30 dBZs, 25, 30 dBZs. So that's pretty moderate to heavy snow. It looks like there's a nice band here just north of Binghamton, about 30 dBZs. Around here to southwest, a little bit north of Owego, and then around Sayre and Little Meadows, around 25, 30 dBZs. And when I animate this, just to see the way, the direction, and the speed that this snow is moving at, looks like it's moving towards southeast, and it's actually looking like it's strengthening a little bit. As you see, the reflectivities are increasing, and it's actually not moving that fast in the scheme of things. It looks like. So I guess now let's go back, and as I mentioned about cold air vection before, let's look at the 850 millibar temps and winds across the northeast. So this is the 12Z run of the NAM, and as you see, you got a lot of westerly winds right now over Lake Ontario over Central New York at 10 a.m. today at 3Z. But as time progresses, this is now 7 p.m. Today, so 0Z tonight. And pretty much you'll see cold air advection really dominating right now with that northwesterly flow over Lake Ontario. Up here you got 850 temps around -10, -20, and then down here you got you have them around 20, a positive 20. So since the winds are blowing across the isotherms and towards the warm air and away from the cold air, obviously you can tell there's cold air advection. And as you see, the cold air advection becomes more prevalent. As you see, as I animate this, if you look over here to your to the around the coast of Maine, when I animate this going forward, so let's start here. This is this is 1 a.m. Wednesday. If you see the backing winds, the winds are backing over time, so that indicates cold air advection, and you'll see the winds backing over time, so there's more cold air advection. And if you look here, it looks like you're getting a nice northerly flow. Again, away from the cold temperatures away from the cold air towards the warm air. So you're getting more cold air advection that way. Sound like a broken record sometimes. Anyway, this is the GFS. Same thing, 850 millibar temps and winds. This is the 12Z run, and as you see, the cold air advection really dominates the area. So for the next few days. So I guess if I'll bring up some forecast soundings. So this is the NAM, and I'm gonna click over the Oswego area. Actually, let's go a little bit. Let's go around Oswego and plot. Okay, so this is at 12Z today. As you see, good conditions for snow. Very moist up until about, looks like about 600 millibars. No, very little wind shear. Pretty much west wind at throughout the atmospheric levels, throughout the pressure levels. My bad. Didn't get much sleep last night. Temperatures below freezing, so it's looking good. As we look ahead, actually let's look at 12Z tomorrow. According to the NAM, things are not looking as good. Looks like you got some decent wind shear, and it's not that moist. It's only fairly moist up to about, looks like 925 or so, and there's too much wind shear to really have a good lake effect snowband. Yeah, same here, too much wind shear. I mean, it's more moist here, but you don't want to have that wind shear to break it all up. So now this is 0Z tonight. The moisture looks fair, but there's still too much wind shear to really have some good lake effect snowbands. Let's look a little further out, see if I mean, here it would be nice to be a little more moist, but it looks like the shear's not too bad here. You got generally a north, between 1,000 and 700 millibars. You got a nice northerly wind. Now, if I'll switch to the GFS, let's look out. This is at 21Z to 21 UTC. Temperatures well below freezing. Looks somewhat moist, although there looks like there's a little too much shear at the lower levels. If I go back to show you, this is 18Z today, so this is actually right now. The moisture is looking very good. It's looking moist, even higher than 700 millibars, but at the very low, the very bottom of the atmosphere, you have some vertical shear because you have northerly winds at 1,000 to westerly winds at 850. So that's way too much vertical shear for some good lake effect snow bands. And again, this is now 3Z Wednesday. The shear's not bad because you got a nice northerly wind up to like about 700 millibars, but there's not enough moisture in the air to really do anything. Again, here there's like not much moisture, and there's not really any. There's too much vertical wind shear, so that doesn't look like it's a go for lake effect snow. So I guess let's look at the 4 kilometer high res NAM quick, I guess, to end it off, because I'm pretty tired. I'll look at the reflectivity. So it doesn't really look like there's really much in the way of lake effect snow over the region. Down here, this is that to your south. This is that synoptic snow, that storm that's going to be passing across Long Island in the city. Prime time for that looks like to be about 0Z Wednesday, so Tuesday around 7 o'clock in the evening. Reflectivity looks like to be about 25-30 dBz in most spots in Nassau or Suffolk County, and then moves out of here quickly by like 13-14Z, so a little bit after the morning commute. So I would say, expect closures and delays since the whole thing with the politics of the snow days changed on Long Island now. Stuff shuts down a lot easier. I would say expect a snow day over a delay, although I wouldn't rule out the possibility of a 2-hour delay because it looks like the storm pulls out around the morning commute. But I would say 80% chance snow day, 20% chance delay with this one. So I guess I'll look at some forecast soundings down there. Let's go to my hometown. Let's go to East Northport. Actually, I have to drag this. Let's go to East Northport. And plot the sounding. This point is GFS. So it's looking really good. I mean, there's wind shear for synoptic storms. You want the upper levels to have that southwesterly flow. You want to have some wind shear because with synoptic storms like this, like the nor'easters, obviously the storms move from the southwest towards the northeast. So the upper levels, you'll have southwesterly winds, but at the lower levels, though, if you want snow, it's good to have the shear because you want the northeasterly winds, which is what it looks like is going on down here. As you see, you got a good moisture profile it looks like it's moist up until over 400 millibars. So there's some good growth. This is 12Z Tuesday. It's very moist, up between about 675 and 250 millibars. It's looking pretty moist there. And then now let's look at this is now, I believe, 15 UTC Tuesday. But yeah, I mean, I just see the forecast sounding wise, it's looking good for the island according to the GFS, to get a good decent snowfall. I mean, if you look here, you got backing winds with height. That's another thing you want, because then you want that cold air advection to go into the area, so it's not good. So the temperature will stay colder. So you don't have, like, I remember back in winter when I was in 8th grade in 2007, 2008. The problem with us with our snow days. I mean, we didn't get any, but the problem with that though was every time a storm came up the coast, it moved too far inland. It took too much of a westerly track, so the warm front passed us. So the winds were veering with height instead of backing with height. So we were seeing warm air advection, and then the temperature would rise overnight from 20 degrees to 40 degrees the next day, and it was raining and everything was melted. So we had school, but that's why I'm saying you want that backing wind with height, because you want that cold air advection to dominate. So cause you want the temperature to stay cold. You want temperatures to be below freezing, and you want a good moisture profile, which is looking like around 3Z Wednesday is perfect for a snow day scenario. And then this is 6Z. Still looking very good backing winds with height. That's always good. Again, as I said, cold air advection. You got a good moisture profile. It looks very moist up to about 450 millibars, which is a great moisture profile for synoptic storms. Again, this is now 9Z, backing wind with height, nice northerly wind, very good, moist up to 400 millibars. And again, this will be 12Z, moist up to 400 millibars, good backing wind with height. That you want that for the cold air advection, because you want if anything, you want the temperature to fall, not to rise. And now by 18Z, the storm pulled away, as you see, because it's pretty dry now. And I mean, they still got some, the good northwesterly winds, but it's dry, so obviously storm pulled out. And I'd say that's pretty much concludes my forecast discussion. Again, any questions, comments, concerns, please ask me. Please like, comment, shout out time. So shout out to my buddy Aaron Ehrman, known as Tower Avram. He earned a shout out from being my first YouTube subscriber. Shout out to Tyler Kranz for being supporting these videos, watching, and I guess that concludes the shout out section of my forecast videos. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. Like, share my page, share it with family, friends, coworkers. This is so I guess this is it for today's forecast discussion, or at least for this afternoon's forecast discussion. I might do another one tonight, depending on what everything's looking at and how I feel. But so this is Eric Drewitz, meteorologist Eric Drewitz, signing off for today. I'll still keep you guys updated on posts. If I want to do another forecast discussion, I'll do it later. I hope you all found this useful. So this is meteorologist Eric Drewitz from the New York State Regional Forecast Center, signing off. And I hope you all have a good afternoon and a good day.